two of the best teams in the nation and two teams that are very good at both ends of the court. As we take a look at our starting lineups for Arizona, it's Amari Carter as well as Ari McDonald in the guard spots, and then Sam Thomas, Dominique McBride, and Kate Reese in the forward spots. And for the Oregon Ducks, Sabrina Ionescu running the show along with Mignon Moore, and then Satou Sabally, Aaron Boley, and Ruthie Hebard in the forward spots. For the Wildcats, the head coach is Adia Barnes in her 4th season as the head coach of the Wildcats. Was able to pick up the WNIT championship last year. Big goal this year is to get her team to the NCAA tournament, and right now they are ranked number 12 in the nation. And there is Kelly Graves in his 6th season as the head coach of the Oregon Ducks. They have won 8 in a row, making it all the way to the Final Four last year, and they have set their goal high to even go further. And we are underway. Krista Warren, Tracy Warren with you. Glad you could be with us, kicking off the second half of the Pac-12 season, Trace.
Pac-12's #1 offense in Oregon against the #1 defense in Arizona. Arizona, watch this first quarter because Oregon outscored UConn by 10 and really just took control of the game. Arizona wants to have a frenetic pace, and they strike first.
And that's a good one. Kate Reese, the sophomore, connecting on the 3 ball. Shots have to fall. They have to play a clean game. Do the Wildcats. It was a close one back in January in Tucson. Just a 7-point win for Oregon. Sabally reads the D, that high-low. The pick and roll, anybody with Ruthie Hebard, you've got a chance.
Well, that's what we talked about. There's so many options, and when the defense collapses, you just find your teammate.
Wow, a lot of contact, but they play on. Bodies colliding as Ari McDonald took the brunt of it, and now she's tripped up, and the whistle and a foul. It's going to go against Mignon Moore. A little crazy sequence there, Tracy.
Well, that's what Arizona wants. What they called is comfortable chaos, is they just want to get run and gun and kind of force these turnovers by Oregon. They know from a size standpoint, they can't go toe-to-toe in the post, so let's get some of those turnovers. That's their game plan.
In case you couldn't tell, it's the pink game. The Ducks in their white home unis with the pink trim, pink socks, some pink headbands for the Wildcats, and a forced turnover. Now that's what the defense this year for Oregon has been doing to teams. Their defense is much improved.
Yeah, absolutely. And what they're doing there is coming out in a zone, and they're challenging Arizona to actually shoot over them, and Arizona overpassed, turned the ball over.
The Ducks force 19 turnovers a game on their opponent. Or excuse me, 15 turnovers a game. 19 is what Arizona does to their opponents on the season. Skip across, Ionescu, straight through.
This is what Oregon does so well. They stretch the floor. Ionescu was wide open on the opposite side, and they just cross-court pass found her. She doesn't miss much. In fact, she makes half of the shots she takes. And just look, you can't give her this much room. She'll make you pay.
First in the nation in assists per game. And a solid shooter as well. She's averaging 17 points per game is Ionescu. And almost a takeaway by Mignon Moore, and they call a travel on the sideline against Arizona and Sam Thomas. And there's the defense already frazzling the Wildcats just a bit. They've got to settle down.
This is a little bit of the page of Arizona taking Oregon with the tough D. Now a little trap defense. Arizona gets the turnover right back.
Adia Barnes, the head coach, told us we're going to press. We're going to throw the pressure in different sequences and in different ways, and right there the trap paid off.
And now it's solving this zone, this big zone when you've got 6'4", 6'4", 5'11".
Shot no good, the rebound down to Sabally.
And that's going to be key, Krista, is weak side rebounding in the post where just Arizona doesn't have size, so their guards have to get in and box out.
Carter almost a takeaway, and instead it's a 3-ball for Sabally.
We talked about what a great game Sabally had against UConn with 17 points and 10 rebounds. So fluid from the outside, but also strong post play.
Kate Reese trying to attack the defense to the baseline. She gets fouled. But how about the skip pass out and Sabally sticking it? It was almost a takeaway, and instead it's a 3.
And we talked about the various players. 5 players double-figure scoring, all starters against UConn for Oregon.
And they're going to call an offensive foul. Kelly Graves up and happy about it. The physicality being taken care of now But the offensive foul against Arizona, and they're going to match up here full court.
When we talked to Kelly Graves yesterday, we said, how do you come back from that big win against UConn? He said, you know what, those weren't the big wins. It was Colorado and Utah before Connecticut and keeping our focus and then going into Connecticut, and now they're ready for the Arizonas. And boy, just like they came out strong to UConn, they're coming out strong to the Wildcats. Lots of forced turnovers.
4 turnovers for Arizona, leading to an 8-0 Oregon run. They are taking advantage of everything they're creating. Moore on the drive, can't get it. Swatted out of there by McBride. And a strip from behind. Mignon Moore, talk about no quit on that play. Trying to look ahead. Good hustle on both sides, out of bounds. It'll stay with the Ducks.
Well, the transition defense by Arizona trying to get back and match the push of Oregon to just really force Arizona on their heels to get back, and it's working.
Fast pace. Both teams like the fast pace, but in this one, Arizona not going to try to keep up with this exact pace. They would like to work a little more clock and not try to make it a track meet with the Ducks. Taylor Chavez will check in. Mignon Moore is going to get a rest. And Helena Puello will check in for Arizona, freshman out of Spain.
Boy, it's some good height still off the bench. You get 5'10" and Chavez to come in. Give you some great guard play. Get a couple minutes in this high pace offense and defense.
Boley shot no good. A rebound to Sabally, couldn't get the cleanup, and the long rebound out, but then a takeaway right to McBride.
Yeah, look at McBride just steal it from Hebert.
Reese trying to run, couldn't get the angle. You got to thank Erin Boley for that. She did not let Kate Reese get the angle she needed.
Twice down the floor, Reese, they bodied her up, got physical. She's not liking it. You can see she's already talking to officials about it.
Reese, number 25 for the Wildcats, yeah. Being pushed out, the physical play up. And a whistle and a foul as the pick and roll is how Ruthie Hebert goes.
Oregon moves the ball so quickly that doesn't let the defense set, and that's Hebert. She's just on the moves so well without the basketball. They feed her, and they do what they do well, is get to the line.
First one no good for Ruthie Hebert, the senior out of Fairbanks, Alaska. Kelly Graves said, we're getting to the line more this year. They're forcing more turnovers, and they're being aggressive as she gets 1 of 2.
Well, that's where they win or lose games. They just start to eat away at you with 78% free throw shooting, which is second best in the Pac-12. But they draw contact and get those opportunities.
McDonald slips. Crowd wants to travel, not going to get it. McDonald calling out the play. Bride skips it out to Thomas.
Look how tall Oregon is. It's just tough to get a good look, and they're so quick on the recovery out of that zone.
Sam Thomas well behind the arc and just short. The rebound down to Sabally. The defense forcing that shot. It is tough to attack this zone, and it's a problem. It was the first time they met up. Boley shot in and out. Puello will bring it up. Skip out to McDonald. And she can't stick it. The Ducks will look to push. McDonald has yet to score, the leading scorer in the conference.
Wow, they had Hebert underneath. They just switched on her, left her wide open. Was able to get the ball. Arizona got away with one there.
Ionescu had the rebound. Sabally on the weak side cleans it up. Ionescu the other side and can't get that to go. Too many opportunities, and finally into the hands of the Wildcats. They are tough to keep off the glass.
And you could see McDonald is trying to push tempo, but her team looks to her first to score, and she's wanting them to take the initiative to give her some open looks.
Sam Thomas using the screen, shot no good. And Ionescu looks ahead. Batted out of bounds. It'll stay with the Ducks. 19 on the shot clock. Fast pace to the start of this one. It's a 6-point Oregon lead. The 2020 Women's Basketball Tournament presented by New York Life is heading to Mandalay Bay March 5th through the 8th. 12 teams competing to work their way to the championship and solidify their spot in the national spotlight. Get tickets now at pac-12.com/tickets. That's pac-12.com/tickets. Oh, you're going to want to be there. It is hard to know what is going to happen. Hey, Maite Cazorla is in the house. Tracy Warren. Maite graduating just last season for the Ducks. She's playing over in Spain for the national team, and she had a week off, so she came over to hang out with her family here in Eugene. And one of my favorites, and just a special player. They have missed her this year just a little bit.
She was at practice yesterday. There's that big smile, and how can you help but not like her? Giving a little boost to her Oregon Duck teammates, former teammates, and you know, this is a big welcome for Oregon after the big UConn win. The fans get to see him for the first time.
Yeah.
And what a fantastic showing on national television, not only for Oregon, but for the Pac-12 and how they continue to climb in the polls.
International players, a big factor for both of these teams and every team in the Pac-12 conference for Oregon as well as Arizona. How about 6 different countries represented, including the U.S. As the shot clock winding down and Ruthie Hebert high to low.
Well, what you saw off ball there was Sabally trying to clear the lane, and she was just backing in, creating space. Hebert saw it, puts the ball on the floor, gets that clear lane, couldn't beat her.
5 points for Ruthie Hebert. Subs for the Wildcats with the Alonzo's in, and that's a good move inside to McBride. We haven't really mentioned her inside yet.
Like to see, she could be a huge difference maker. She's got grit, she doesn't mind the physicality, she's got a big body. She's got to own that block a little bit more because she is going to be tested.
They add some size inside with Samaje Smith, the Wildcats do. As Sabally gets the shooter's touch, gets it to drop.
Well, you see her face after that. She was just like, that's the goodness roll. It just went in an Oregon-friendly roll, but doesn't know how. And I'll tell you, Arizona's got to start to get more shots up. Just 2-1 for every shot that Arizona takes. Oregon's taking 2.
And that's a great kick out. Cuello with the bucket as Ari McDonald got herself into the trees, and she kicks it out and will take the assist.
More players that get involved in the offense takes the pressure off McDonald.
Boley just can't get it. Sabally, another O-board. And you give him that many chances, Taylor Chavez makes you pay. Sophomore out of Surprise, Arizona.
And double team now from Oregon, just trying to slow down the guard play, deny an entry pass as they settle back into that zone. With 15 on the shot clock, so now the Wildcats have got to get into their offense, and here's the double team on the entry pass.
McBride had nowhere to go getting the pass in the high post. As she came down, the trap was there.
Ionescu, this is why she's a Pac-12 leader in assists. She has eyes in the back of her head, and there's a nice roll for Sabally.
Oregon, 5 offensive boards, and they are converting them now. And you give them that many chances, and they'll make you pay. Shot clock is down to 4. McDonald trying to draw the foul, doesn't get it.
She cannot get in her rhythm, and credit the Oregon defense. They are just up in her grill. They know that she can be deadly from outside, not giving her space.
Sabally, left drive was open, and Giome's checked in. She gets the rebound. Jazz Shelley also in for the Ducks. Sabally did everything to fall in. Giome keeping it alive. Wildcats got a box out. And finally, into the hands of Cuello, and she gets fouled.
Boy, lots of good looks for Oregon. It's just big bodies taking that space and boxing Arizona out. Ball comes down, they reverse so quickly. Again, get Arizona on their heels. But just look, that's the first opportunity. Then they kick it out. Okay, they get another opportunity out here. They're working the boards, and finally Arizona comes up with it in the late reach in and foul.
Mignon Moore back in for the Ducks. Sabrina Ionescu will get a breather. And it's Amari Carter in for the Wildcats. McDonald will get a rest. Cuello running the point. Freshman out of Spain. The weave. Cuello trying to hang on. She'll take the shot just short off the front of the rim. Ducks try to save it and do.
Well, we saw Arizona work on it today, that they wanted to be patient with their offense and wait for the breakdown of the Oregon defense. It's not breaking.
Into the back stanchion. Taylor Chavez gets the bucket, and Kelly Graves up wanting to push in the back. Not going to get it.
Chavez has got this new kind of confidence that she's just sensing opportunities, and they're giving her room to put the ball on the floor, penetrate, and use that foot speed.
5 points for her, and now Chavez not to the court. The sophomore has really been big on the defensive end, but she's starting to find some offense too, Tracy.
Well, look, she just takes her big to the hole one-handed, draws contact, and a little slow getting up, but boy, you've got to like that finesse of being able to just mix up speeds, take the post player to the bucket, and finish.
7 offensive boards for Oregon. As Sabally driving in, they're going to call a travel. So they go the other direction. Break for the Wildcats. Kelly Graves working the officials a little bit on the sideline as we're about 4-second differential between game clock, shot clock to finish up this first quarter.
They are just double teaming. There are no good looks at the guard. A good job fighting underneath, asking for the basketball and finishing by Reese.
Aggressive move, that time much more physical by Kate Reese. She hedges out, trying to slow down Mignon Moore. Shelley, got to put it up, tries the up and under, knocked away, and that's going to do it for quarter number 1. So a couple of positives towards the end of that one for the Wildcats. And Satou Sabally with 5 points here in the first quarter. Get ready for the second. We'll have it for you right here. Come up next on Pac-12 Network. Welcome back to Matthew Knight Arena here in Eugene, Oregon. Quarter 1 in the books. It's an 8-point lead for number 8 Oregon. As we take a look at these ranked teams, we've got 2 of them here. 6 teams in the top 20 in the Pac-12 conference. And doing some damage out there, Tracy.
Well, that's why they say the RPI for the Pac-12 is number 1, because the teams are just getting better and they're making each other better. Each week, you can't rest, and all are trying to jockey for position, some type of home court advantage come NCAA time, but they're beating each other up to do it.
Yep, they certainly are. The NCAA committee revealing their first top 16 reveal. Arizona the 13th spot. This Oregon team would be number 4, a top seed in Portland if things finished up the way they are now, as that's a good start right there for the Ducks. They go to Ionescu.
Yeah, and power in the middle, and now they're showing three-quarter court pressure to slow Arizona from getting in that transition game, and then they settle back into that zone and force Arizona to go ahead and shoot over it.
Donald shot, no good. She is 0 for 4 to start this one. Has yet to score. They have to get her going. And there's a nice takeaway, hand in the passing lane by Puello. McDonald trying to get out running, gets tripped up. And they're going to call the foul from behind. It's going to go against Mignon Moore.
It's almost like an offensive foul when your receiver's breaking down the field and you just try and trip them up so they can't, score the touchdown. McDonald had a good beat on it, but what we need to see, Krista, is the rebounding improve for Arizona. It is 15-5. Oregon just really working the boards with the big bodies.
They absolutely are. Reese shot is long. It's the second personal on Mignon Moore. She will stay out there for now.
And we saw McDonald draw some contact, and she's back in now, rubbing her eye. Just a physical play from Oregon. But they need her. They need her point production. She really hasn't found her groove yet.
Ionescu guarded by Puello, gets the screen from Boley and switches. And a hand and then passing lane once again. Puello with the steal, out running, layup is good.
Puello is coming to play, and great anticipation, overpassing by Oregon a bit as the shot clock winding down. Puello just takes advantage. Transition.
Elena Puello, a 6-foot freshman out of Spain. Part of the Spanish national team, the World Cup team this past year. Hebert, the kick out to Chavez. Aggressive D, creating some offense.
And Puello just anticipating as they try to switch the ball and reverse to Ionescu, and Puello goes full court. And you see a little bit Arizona kind of starting to claw back in, but both of these teams almost look gassed after that frenetic first quarter.
It was a fast pace, back and forth. Pretty high turnovers on both sides. McDonald in and out, another one that won't drop. But a shooter's gonna keep on shooting. Holly Winterburn is checked in for the Ducks, 11 in white. Spin move, fade away, off the mark. Rebound down to Reese.
McDonald still looking for her first bucket. 0 for 5 so far. And they've been switching up kind of who is in front of her with this zone.
Aggressive drive, just splits her way right in there.
If she can't get it done outside, she'll take a 6'4" post to the hole and she'll win that battle. She did there.
She is a strong, aggressive 5'7" redshirt junior. Not afraid to go in. Right now guarding Ionescu.
Well, it's a great matchup, Ionescu and McDonald.
Hebert trying to back herself in. Carter there for the help. Rebound down to Puello.
There's the weak side rebounding that the Wildcats need to stay in this game, get some opportunities, but watch the transition D from Oregon. They got back quick.
Donald on the drive. It's tipped out. They'll stay with the Wildcats. 19 on the shot clock.
McDonald lists at 5'9", and she threads the needle. 6'4", and she wins.
And miscommunication by the Ducks down low, and an inbound play working perfectly, and the Wildcats have pulled within 4. Kelly Graves wants the timeout.
This is the scariness of Arizona. They have found this new normal of confidence. Look what they did to UCLA with the big 92-66 win. They are coming with game in the second quarter. Fantastic play for Arizona as they're working their way back in. The Wildcats are not asleep. They've just woken up in Eugene, Oregon. We just point. You go.
Yeah.
No, you go.
6-0 run.
Is it?
Yeah. That was crazy right there. That was just like, hello? Yeah. Not good. 6-0 run by Arizona, and they pull within 4 here in the second quarter. And Tracy, they came out a little different focus, a little different aggressiveness, and taking advantage.
You know, when Adia Barnes came back to Arizona, she said, Ari McDonald, build this program with me, and she did. And just look what she has done. 20 points per game, 6 rebounds, 2 steals this season, the average, the assists. She's also one of the top defenders in the Pac-12, 2-time Pac-12 Player of the Week. And we mentioned at the outset, every game she has played in Arizona, she has scored double figures. That's 58 straight games.
Yeah.
That is tough performance. And right now, you saw her finally break through in the scoring column, and the team kind of lift up a little bit.
How good are you feeling if you're Arizona? Your leading scorer, she averages 21 points per game. She only has 2 points, and you are with 4 of the Oregon Ducks.
Here's some frenetic pace by Arizona on the defensive end to try and take some time off the clock, but Oregon handled it well, except there.
Forcing the turnover, trying the high-low. Ionescu trying to get it to Hebard. An opportunity to cut into that deficit even more. This crowd trying to be a factor. Carter in the high post. Cuello leading McBride right into a trap, though, and there's a takeaway by the Ducks. Momentarily, Sabally couldn't hang on. Shot clock to 1, recognizing it. The shot off by Carter, but doesn't touch the rim. So a good defensive sequence by the Ducks.
Absolutely fantastic defense, especially by the elbow. We saw 3 defenders for Oregon just collapse. Arizona got a little stagnant on offense that time, didn't reverse the ball and get it out. And more full court pressure by Arizona.
Chavez stays in, Winterburn as well. And Ionescu in the guard spots.
The bigs are such good ball handlers for Oregon, so they get the ball in, no problem.
Movement without the ball. Satu Sabally barely gets it away. Winterburn trying to drive, knocked out 6 on the shot clock.
You really see that Oregon makes you commit to a full 30-second shot clock defense. They are passing, 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 and looking for multiple weapons here as they spread the floor.
Tough inbound pass, and McDonald comes down with it. And Winterburn stops the fast break. She'll commit the personal, and she gets popped in the mouth.
That's your Pac-12 steals leader at work, saying, I want the ball, and I'm just going to take it from you, and then I'll go transition the other way. And Winterburn took the worst of it.
Jazz Shelley will come back in. Winterburn will have to go out.
And on the floor today, we've got the Pac-12 scoring leader in McDonald, the Pac-12 assist leader in Ionescu. We've got the Pac-12 rebounding leader in Hebard. So we've got all this talent on the floor today, and 2 teams that are among the top 12 in the nation in the Pac-12. And we thought, you and I talked about, would Oregon be tired coming back from Storrs, Connecticut on a charter?
Yeah.
And a charter which took some time to get across country.
They had a couple of stops they had to make. It wasn't a direct flight option, as there's a turn and square up by Kate Reese, and they pull within 2.
Wow. Just the patience of Arizona and the poise to fight back in Eugene.
And Tracy, you said it, the Ducks, they average 86 points per game. They lead the nation in that category. They're also tops in assist-to-turnover ratio, but they're being forced into some turnovers, and they're having a tough time getting some scoring as of late.
See, great help defense by Arizona, but they're exploiting it. A little miscommunication.
Chavez, she has been good off the bench. 7 points for Taylor Chavez.
Got to see more movement to the Arizona offense as they're just trying to break this zone.
Skip out to Cuello, just misses. Ionescu, the defense stays with her, and a smart play to use the backboard. I don't know how she got the shot off with the right hand, though.
And McDonald saw the pick coming, so she tried to fight through it. She still couldn't. It got to be a little bit more help defense when everybody sees that pick coming.
Great anticipation by Chavez as she bats that one away. And a whistle from behind. It's going to go against McDonald. Just her first personal.
And you see McDonald senses a pick is coming. Hebard setting the pick. And a little, I'm just going to keep it if I'm Ionescu and finish.
Yeah, nice read by Sabrina Ionescu. There's the little drop down that she does so well. Little one-handed bounce pass to Ruthie Hebert.
Those two work so well, and Adia Barnes wants a timeout with Oregon's run.
Crowd loving the effort. And it's a 6-0 Oregon run to extend the lead back out.
Look how well Ionescu and Hebert work together. We talked about it. Last play, Ionescu kept it. This play, it's a little give and go to Hebert. Little pick and roll and finish.
We've got a good one here. There's much more to talk about. Don't go anywhere. Our State Farm halftime report coming up at the break. Ashley Adamson's in our Pac-12 Network studios. Lots to talk about. Number 10 UCLA, number 6 Stanford. We'll get a preview of that, as well as some softball. The Chikawa Classic going on, Tracy, and my goodness, if you're anything in college softball, you're there.
You are. It's already happening. Arizona needs to find a way to solve this zone for Oregon. That's one way.
4 points for Aari McDonald. Pulls back within 6.
And Kelly Graves said, look, she's got that first step. We can't keep up with her, so she's going to get her points.
High double screen. They were trying to get the mismatch, but not able to get it, and they don't get the roll there. It's a nice looking idea by Chavez. This crowd thinking it should stay with the Ducks.
Chavez has got that explosive step, and so she's exploiting the defenders that are put on her, and she's getting a good look, just not the finish and the roll.
McDonald kicks it out to Sam Thomas. She's been quiet. Reese in the high post. A couple of good looks. We're going to work some more clock. McDonald drives it in. Little contact, no whistle. Rebound down to Hebert. Sabrina counted and trapped, and able to get it over to Hebert. Sabally out by herself and sticks it. Satu Sabally, 8 points.
Oregon was patient on that possession. They kept moving the ball until they could find Sabally at the top of the key. Just great execution, but good communication and intuition by the Ducks.
McDonald creates some space and hits it. 6 points for Aari McDonald. Well, she made that happen, Tracy.
Just that step back, and you know, Adia Barnes says if we had another McDonald, she'd probably hit more from 3. She's always doing it off balance.
Laser pass, high to low. Ionescu, another assist. Coming into this one, Tracy, 18 away from her 1,000th career assist. She'll be only the second to have over 2,000 career points and over 1,000 career assists. And there's a takeaway by Chavez. Defense to offense for the Ducks.
Chavez has been an igniter for Oregon with the anticipation on the defensive end, the timely buckets when Oregon was stalling. She has just been fantastic.
And a travel called against Kate Reese in the high post. The momentum shift has gone to Oregon, their largest lead of the game, up by 11.
Remember, Kelly Graves said at practice yesterday, we can beat them in the post. We just got to get it in there. Well, they got it in there. Sabrina to Ruthie, and 2 more points for Oregon.
Sabally kicks it out. Chavez, right corner, can't get it. And a good box out by McBride. This is an Oregon team that has outscored their opponents as the pass is off the mark right in front of us. A tough break for the Wildcats. Oregon outscores their opponents every game but one this year in the paint. It's something that they dominate. How about 44-14 in their win against Connecticut on Monday in the paint?
And that was Hebert, that was Sabally, that was Ionescu getting those good looks in the paint and just dismantling UConn. They held UConn to 7 points in the fourth quarter and just went to town. You felt the air come out of Storrs, Connecticut.
Yeah, an impressive victory. Sabally high to low, little contact, no whistle, long rebound to the Ducks. Shelley can't get it. Sabrina Ionescu keeps the team going. 5 boards for Ionescu. And she's doing everything.
Exactly right. She was the one who dished it out. She's the one who got the rebound. She's the one who pulled it out. She's the one who finished. The tireless work ethic of probably the best player in women's college basketball today.
A long rebound as Shamaje Smith and a 6-0 Oregon run on second chance points. Kelly Graves still working the officials as that long rebound, and they call Smith over the back. And a hand check up top. It's going to go against Amari Carter. That's her second. Under a minute left here in the first half, and what was a very close game. Arizona had cut it back within 2, and the Ducks were out running, and they've kicked it up to a 14-point lead. Sabrina Ionescu has 10 points, 6 boards, and 3 assists in this one as she tries to save it on the inline, but can't. See if the Wildcats can take a positive into the break and get a score here and cut in to this 14-point deficit. McDonald with 6 points. Just 2 made threes for Arizona. Team that averages 7. McDonald tries to drive it in. Gielmi hands straight up. Ducks outrunning. Ionescu guarded by McDonald. High screens for either side for Ionescu. Instead, out to Sabally. Sabally! 11 points. And Oregon ends this half on a 10-0 run. Satou Sabally with 11 points. She's 3 of 4 behind the arc, and a 10-0 run to finish up this half for the Ducks. Tracy standing by with Kelly Graves now. Tracy?
Kelly, they had it within 2, and you guys came alive in the second quarter. You're fired up out there. What's going on?
Well, I am, yeah. I think shooters should be protected. When they drive, they should be protected. We're so used to calling all this stuff on the outside. Protect people going to the basket and shooting. And I like how we were aggressive in that second half. Sab's kind of put us on his shoulders there for a bit. Satou's come alive, and defensively we've done a nice job.
How do you keep this momentum going into the second half?
These guys out here help us keep our momentum going. But we'll go in. I mean, these guys are a good team. I think we're the 2 hottest teams in the league coming into this game. And, I anticipate they're going to come out with even more juice, so we better too.
All right, Coach. Thanks.
Kelly Graves fired up his team out on a big run, a 10-0 run to finish off the half as they go up by 17 over Arizona. We'll take a break as well. Don't go anywhere. Ashley Adamson in our Pac-12 Network studios. She's coming up next with our State Farm Halftime Report. Woo!
Yep.
against Liberty. Head coach Chelsea Gamble will be giving a pregame chalk talk.
Read it.
They're giving the inside scoop to Oregon. So get your tickets now at GoDucks.com/tickets.
And we welcome you back to Eugene, Oregon. We've got a good one here as the Ducks went on a big run to finish up the first half. They're up by 17 over number 12, Arizona. Krista Blunt, Tracy Warren with you. And wow, Tracy, it's been kind of a game of runs, or at least quarter number 2 was anyway. It was very close for a little while, and then the Ducks kind of do what they do.
Yeah, we saw Arizona use some defense to create some offense to cut this to 2, and we thought, wow, here come the Wildcats. Poyo shows that she's got some speed, and she's got a lot of confidence for a freshman. So they start to get more scorers involved off the bench. Carter gets involved, and then McDonald starts to kick it into gear, and we thought, here they go. But then, of course, Oregon steps it up on the defensive end and then just caused turnover after turnover. In fact, 10 turnovers by the Wildcats as Oregon doesn't give up on the play, and that turns into points. They got 13 points off 10 turnovers, but as Kelly Graves said, it really was Satu Sabali that kicked it into gear and put the team on her shoulders, just using her big frame to split 2 defenders, get the favorable roll, and then pull out the defense and show some of her range, and just a little bit of icing on the cake when you can hit that 3.
Satu finished up with 11 points, 3 of 4 behind the arc, and 7 rebounds. As we take a look at the numbers, it was Tough shooting in the first quarter. Both teams got going a little bit better. The rebounding, though, definitely favoring the Ducks.
Yeah, we talk about second chance points. That's rebounds, and we'll see if Arizona can make some adjustment on the boards.
We'll see what Adia Barnes and the Wildcats will do. We'll have it for you right after this.
Gotcha. Yep. How you doing, kiddo?
Better, but
You, Coach, you were working the officials. It was an emotional first half. What was going on there?
well, I just think a lot of ticky-tack calls, which is to be expected on the road. We need to be a little bit more disciplined. But the main thing I'm concerned about is our rebounding. We're not doing a great job of boxing out, giving up a lot of second chance points, which leads to threes. And we got to take care of the basketball.
All right, Coach. Good luck in the second half. Thanks.
Thank you.
Okay. Number 3, Oregon on a 10-0 run before the break, and they go up by 17 over number 12, Arizona. And moments ago, Tracy caught up with the head coach of the Wildcats, Adia Barnes.
Coach, you were working the officials. It was an emotional first half. What was going on there?
Well, I just think a lot of ticky-tack calls, which is to be expected on the road. We need to be a little bit more disciplined. But the main thing I'm concerned about is our rebounding. We're not doing a great job of boxing out, giving up a lot of second chance points, which leads to threes. And we got to take care of the basketball.
All right, Coach. Good luck in the second half. Thanks.
Thank you.
And boy, she's right, a big differential in rebounding, and really only 6 second chance points considering Oregon's taken 9 O-boards off of them. Tracy, I think they probably got away with one there, even on that.
The guards need to be committed to rebounding. We have Wildcats need more bodies crashing the boards, but also boxing out because you're going to be outsized by this tall Oregon team.
See if the Wildcats can be a little more aggressive on the glass. Carter tries the up and under. Wow. Just misses.
Still having problems breaking that zone, and Oregon doing a nice job of committing, keeping it tight, and Arizona can't find the needle to thread.
McDonald matching up against Janescu. High to low, Sottile to Hebert, and one.
You saw that play in the making because Hebert just had some real estate there. She was not giving up, just holding her own, just gets the ball, has a defender on her back, and then finishes with contact.
Ruthie Hebert gets the three-point play. She has 12 points. 12 points, and I don't feel like we've said her name that much tonight, really. McDonald weaving in, kicks it out. Carter, baseline shot is good. Amari Carter, that could be a plus.
Yeah, getting to set up your teammate and getting those good looks. A little pump fake by an aggressive Oregon defense. That's all it takes.
Carter, the senior out of Washington, D.C., and a transfer from Penn State, a grad transfer. Getting her master's in educational leadership. Nice addition she's been, averages about 5 points a game.
You can see Hebert wants the ball again. She's been calling for it. There's a little pick and roll.
Ionescu able to find her, the switch that time, and the Bigs couldn't make their way back down in front of her.
She starts at the high post, she flashes, Ionescu finds her, and there you go.
Sabrina Ionescu guarding McDonald. McDonald thinking there was contact, and Sabrina not in agreement with McDonald. She agrees with the officials. Our officials tonight: Bob Schofield, Lisa Jones, and Clark Stevens, a veteran crew. Hebert, finger roll good, and again, now starting to say Ruthie Hebert. I really didn't feel like we said her name that much in the first half.
Well, she's found a lot of real estate, and Reese is just not able to box her out. So on the one-on-one matchups, it's not working. That's one that Hebert's winning every time.
16 points for Ruthie Hebert, and 7 straight points for Ruthie Hebert.
One of the things that Arizona talked about in today's shoot-around was, hey, can we get Oregon into foul trouble? Because McDonald has that foot speed. She goes baseline, and really Oregon just tries to block it. It gets there late, and Hebert picked up the foul. It's an idea, but McDonald can't do it alone.
Reese will take a seat. Samaje Smith back in. Oh, there's a pretty finger roll and finish by Dominique McBride.
Just like her game, she's so solid, she's understated. She's doing the work and really finishing strong, and I think if she could do more of that, there's your points in the paint for the Wildcats.
And another and one opportunity for Ruthie Hebert. It's the Ruthie Hebert show here in the third quarter. Wow.
Oregon moves the ball so quickly, and they find Hebert, and what Hebert's doing is keeping the defenders on her back. So she's got that first step, and as soon as she breaks, her teammates are finding her for the easy three-footer.
Thea Alonso back in, the senior from Spain. As Hebert will try for the three-point play. Can't get it. Ruthie Hebert has scored all of Oregon's points here in the third quarter, 9 straight. McDonald, quick shot off the back of the rim, and the rebound down to Sabali.
To see Samaje Smith get more engaged there, trying to pull some bigger boards because she's got that 6'5" body. She can have the height battles with Hebert.
Good defensive rotation by the Wildcats, and a whistle and a foul. It's going to go against Sabali, and that'll be her first. But you can see it takes 2 and 3 players to come over for help D just to try to stop that high-low game by the Ducks.
And it's tough because if they are covered and the defense collapses, they kick it back out, they knock down a 3, and that's the deflation of Oregon. They just move the ball so well, and it's great communication. We saw Kelly Graves when we went to shoot around yesterday. We saw how active they were.
Yeah. 6 threes tonight for the Ducks. They average 9 per game. Only 2 makes behind the arc. For Arizona, they average 7 a game. Here's Smith, one-on-one, but loses it. Ionescu lost her footing momentarily, but Boley there to bail her out. That's the kind of game the Ducks are having right now.
Well, it's no wonder. Boley has just been so solid from downtown. You know, they say she hasn't been as solid this year, but she's getting back in the flow.
Nice job by McDonald to draw double defenders and then dish it over. And Smith with the finish.
Like to see more quick finishes with Smith, but Oregon has just kind of started to deflate Arizona here. And we said it happens very quickly. Gino Auriemma, the Connecticut coach, talked about how quickly Oregon gets hot and just deflates you.
You feel like you're right in it, and then you aren't. Give and go. Here we go.
Moving so well without the basketball. It's almost like everyone here in Eugene knows it's about to develop, and you can hear the fans start to get excited, and then they just execute and start to pull away.
Crowd enjoying themselves here at Matthew Knight Arena, and for good reason. The Ducks getting it done inside and out. We'll take a break as well. Their largest lead of the ball game. Time for our State Farm Showcase, and just when you think you have one of the big three contained, Tracy, Ruthie Hebert decides to get going here in the third.
Yeah, Hebert has just been the go-to, little pick and roll, little high-low. Just has found a lot of room in the lane to work and has been finishing with the three-footers on the receiving end for the pass from Sabally. Fantastic teamwork from the big three, all in double figures. Sabally, Hebert, and Ionescu.
You gotta just pick your poison with this team. It is not easy to do. And they've extended now the lead to 25, their largest lead of the ball game. Just 9 points after the first half for Ruthie Hebert, and she came out on her own 9-0 run to kick off the third quarter and kickstart the Oregon Ducks. They just have so many options.
And there's no deflation to this Oregon team. You know, Kelly Graves said, our work isn't done yet. Our work is when we have a national championship banner hanging in here. And he said, when we went to Storrs, they have 11. We have none. We've got so much more work to do. And there is no letdown by Oregon after the big win against the Huskies.
And he wants it for his team, this university, but for the conference as well. I mean, he truly believes the Pac-12 is the best conference and has to get recognition. And in order to do that, got to start winning some championships. Pretty little inbound, but can't get the finger roll, and a whistle and a foul going to go against McBride. Might be her third. Here it is.
What was he saying to us? He said it was since Stanford, who's the last Pac-12 team, then Pac-10, to win a national championship. That was back in the Jennifer Azzi days. And it's been a long spell, and he wants to make the Pac-12 the national champions.
Got to prove it. There's been some teams making it to the Final Four, but they have not been able to come away with the title. As Thomas gets fouled. She has yet to score. Sam Thomas, a really major key, I think, to the success of the Wildcats. She averages 9 points per game, and they have yet to get her a bucket.
Yeah, she has been relatively silent, but credit the Oregon defense for that.
Players colliding. It's tipped out. It'll stay with Oregon with 10 on the shot clock.
This whole city of Eugene has embraced this women's basketball team. Kelly Graves telling us there's flags of all the women on bridges, and that's something not the University of Oregon has done, the city of Eugene has done to celebrate the popularity of these female athletes.
Foul against McDonald. That's her second as she tried to square up and stay with Mignon Moore. It'll put Mignon to the free throw line. Gets the first one to drop. First points of the game for Mignon Moore. She had 12 points at Connecticut.
What a great transfer for her to come from USC and come in here and just fit into the system, this high-paced system. She's committed to defense, one of the team's leader on steals. She's great on assists. Some full court pressure from Oregon again to take time off the clock.
Alonso back in for the Wildcats. Chinqueo as Thomas tries the drive, can't get it.
See how many defenders collapsed on her for Oregon to help defense? There were 3.
Sabally, a cut into the lane, and she'll get free throws. We'll take a timeout. The Ducks keep on rolling. Up big here in the third. back in Eugene, Oregon. Let's take a look at the Pac-12 standings and look at the top part kind of separating themselves a little bit, Tracy, as we head into the second half of conference play here tonight. But I'm not counting anybody out, I have to tell you, but those top spots are so important. And for this Arizona team, number 12 in the nation, it's been some time since they had that high of a ranking. How about when Adia Barnes, the head coach, was playing?
Yeah, Adia Barnes just strutting her stuff, making Arizona relevant under head coach Joan Bonvincini, who's one of our Pac-12 network broadcasters. And she just celebrated her 43rd birthday on Monday, and the team had a nice celebration for her, and they said she is so popular in Tucson right now for turning around women's basketball. She's like the mayor. Everybody knows Adia Barnes.
Yep, they certainly do. Sabli's to the line. Adia Barnes single-handedly went out and started selling tickets on the street last year, winning the WNIT championship, a record 14,644 in attendance in Tucson. And now they're coming out in droves as well for the regular season here to see this team, and for good reason. You got to give some credit to Tucson fans. They are alive and ready, as well as this crowd here tonight. Sellouts galore between these programs. It's great to see.
And the fans in here in Eugene are on every pass. You can see how into their women's basketball they are. They love how hard this team has worked. They're working the boards. They're working on the defensive end. They're getting points off turnovers.
Another steal by Puello, almost loses it. Off the end line, they'll say it'll go the other way. Good hustle and effort. I like the play of Helena Puello, the freshman out of Spain. Sabally getting a round of applause for good reason. She's already got the double-double, her 5th this season, her 9th in her career.
And it's not uncommon for these 11,000 fans to get on their feet and just applaud the efforts of this Oregon Duck team. They love the fight in them.
More quick passing. Chavez back in, tries to drive it in. Say out of bounds, it'll stay with Oregon.
That's how unselfish UNESCO is. She just had an opening there, and she said, you know what, I'm gonna get my teammates involved. And a good defense interior by Arizona, Sam Thomas.
She's an excellent shot blocker, is Sam Thomas. Skip out to Boley. And the second 3 of the game for Erin Boley. She has 6 points.
We knew that if they left her alone on the perimeter that she would have a field day, and she's starting to do that. The former Notre Dame basketball players just got some great range.
Puello on the drive, scoops it up and good. Helena Puello.
You know, they said that she was choosing really where she wanted to go, either playing pro. She even considered going to Oregon, but she went to Arizona, and she's got so much confidence. Going to be a fantastic player as she continues to mature.
Yeah, definitely so. Her bucket stopped an 8-0 Oregon run as Kate Reese is running the floor.
This is transition buckets. This is what Adia Barnes talked about getting back into the game, is getting those transition buckets and working the glass.
Second chance, skipped out to Chavez, in and out, and a good box out by Shaval Goul, who's checked in, the freshman out of Turkey. Reese, back-to-back buckets for Kate Reese.
Reese has had some good looks. Boy, she's had her work cut out for her because she's had to guard Hebert and essentially Satou Sabally all night. Now Sabaly's out, and Reese is starting to find her offensive groove.
Ruthie Hebert keeps that one alive off the miss. And now gets the pass inside and bodies to the court. So physical. Chavez, ball fake, drives it in, and good.
The great court vision by UNESCO. She's constantly looking to get her teammates engaged, and she had it, gets the ball to Chavez. Chavez becomes another scoring threat for Oregon.
Chavez has 11. Whistle and a foul gonna go against the Ducks. Crowd not in agreement. And a big differential, Tracy, in this one is the offensive rebounding. We've been talking about it. 11 O boards for the Ducks
Yeah.
None yet for Arizona.
And that's the commitment that Oregon, and they fight for every board, which makes it so tough when you've got 5 players working the glass and Arizona just getting outboxed out.
Third personal on Ruthie Hebert. She'll take a breather. Giomi back in.
I'd like to see Thomas get involved offensively. She's just been stagnant so far, hanging out there on the perimeter. There she is right there. Try to get her a good look.
Alonso, tough pass, able to save it. There's Thomas. Kicks it down. Cuello, no good. I agree with you. Sam Thomas just not being the aggressor here tonight. Ionescu picked up by Thomas. And Chavez gets it up top. She'll call out the play. Giomi open for just a second. They couldn't get it to her. Ionescu crossover in the lane, up and good. Sabrina Ionescu, 12 points for the senior.
Reads the defense really well. She saw that she could get the one-on-one opportunity and the quick penetration, and just a smart basketball player.
3 assists away from another triple-double. 3-on-1, Moore out to Chavez. Sticks it. Inside, the Wildcats go. Cuello continues.
Well, why this is great is Hebert and Sabali are on the bench, and Chavez and Ionescu are doing the scoring. I mean, you gotta love this. If you can get your bigs some rest, and then your guard play just starts to explode on the perimeter.
Kate Reese with 13 now for Arizona. Chavez sticks it again. 3 balls galore, the 10th of the ball game for the Ducks. Reese on a roll. Kate Reese has 15. Moore to Ionescu. Well behind the arc, and money! Her dad and her brother in the stands liking what they're seeing, and so are these fans. She called for it at the end, Tracy, and she got it.
A hand clap, and she said, give me a time's running out, and that's confidence. Look at her just with the step back and the big 3 and the emotional push headed into the 4th quarter. The Ducks on fire. They lead 72-38.
Pac-12 basketball is brought to you by State Farm. Talk to an agent today. Inside Matthew Knight Arena, getting ready for quarter number 4, and it's the largest lead of the game for the Ducks, up by 34. It's time now for the Cayman Dream play of the game. No surprises, Sabrina Ionescu involved in this one, Tracy.
With the clock winding down to end the third quarter, the theatrics calling for the ball to step back, the long three, and the emotional lift for her teammates as Hebert comes over and says, "That is fantastic." Just the quiet confidence of the senior leader, who many say will be the #1 draft pick in the WNBA. She's just got all the tools.
Talk about just, you name it, great teammate, hard worker. She's got her own jersey here, and the fans are decked out in them. They had to order more. There's a whistle and a foul. Giommi will go to the strike.
We talked about her a little bit, but she's got a huge friendship with the late Kobe Bryant, and of course took Kobe Bryant's passing extremely hard. He would come to games here in Oregon, support the athletes, and he took the time to talk to each one of the players. And Ionescu, of course, really loved his work ethic and kind of patterned her game after him. And Kelly Graves said what an impact his passing has had on Ionescu, and she has just continued to work extremely hard, not only for herself, but in his honor.
Yeah, the players on both sides, as McDonald's not giving up just yet. She'll get the and one opportunity. Players on both sides wearing the warm-up shirts to honor and have the names of all 9 of the souls lost on that helicopter, and just to honor them before the game. As McDonald gets the 3-point play, and she has 9 points. They have really held her down, the Ducks have.
It's just been really fantastic defense, and her long-range game has not been on. Remember, she's had the tough defensive assignment, too. She was on Ionescu for a while.
Absolutely. Oh, and helping D down right there, trying to tip that one away in front of Giommi.
Yeah, and Kelly Graves just giving a lot of his starters some good rest here. As Arizona State waits in the wings, and that's their last loss, is to Arizona State. So they knew they had a tough weekend coming in, and Kelly Graves said, look, we had not been playing our best. He didn't even feel they played best in Connecticut, and they had some work they still needed to do.
And Adia Barnes says the same thing on their side. You know, she said, we haven't peaked yet. We're not at our best just yet, and they're all happy to be finding their best game maybe in late February, the start of March, I think, is when they would prefer, as the long rebound goes to Ionescu. This Arizona team, the loss to this Oregon team was the last time they've had a loss. They have won 5 in a row since then. Whistle on the foul, the third on Carter.
And, you know, this is Arizona's 5th top 10 opponent in their last 9 games. So strength of schedule in this Pac-12. It helps your RPI, but it also, hey, it cannot help your record if you've got these tough games at Eugene, Oregon.
Yeah. You got that right. Perfect on the season are the Ducks here at home. If they can finish this one off, they'll be 12-0 here on their home floor. So tough to come here. Ionescu zips that one across the baseline. The shot in and out by Winterburn. Wildcats trying to push. McDonald gets fouled by Giommi.
Fans want an offensive foul, but McDonald clearly had to step on that. And I got to give her credit. McDonald continues to press to get her points and finds ways to do it.
First free throw good for Aari McDonald, the redshirt junior out of Fresno, California. And that puts her to double figures. She has 11, how about 59 double-figure games in a row.
Incredible endurance by her. And, you know, her defense has been fantastic.
High to low, Ruthie Hebert, little smile on the face. One more assist for Sabrina Ionescu, and that would give her the triple-double. That's her 9th assist on the night. Kate Reese has been working hard, though, on that right side.
I like what I'm seeing from her. She's got some good looks. She's just got a tremendous touch from the outside. The problem is, on the defensive end, she's got Hebert.
17 points for Kate Reese. Skip out to Chavez, in and out. Good box out by Kate Reese. Not an easy task against a very good rebounding Ruthie Hebert. McDonald, nowhere to go. McDonald up to the left side this time, and good. Harry McDonald last year, 890 points on the season. She broke Adia Barnes' single season record.
And you're looking at Arizona and you say, how much do they have left in their tank in this fourth quarter? Because it's just been a relentless attack from Oregon.
Ionescu into Hebert, and good! The crowd on their feet, and a takeaway. And this crowd loving the effort. Sabrina Ionescu, her 24th career triple-double. The Wildcats get a steal.
Good aggressive play by Arizona, sticking with the defensive commitment, just overpassing by Oregon.
Biggs inside have been working so hard, both hitting the court on that last play. And Kelly Graves wants the timeout. The numbers by Sabrina Ionescu. Her 6th triple-double this season, 24th overall. I gotta get me a jersey, Tracy.
Hey, get it signed while you're here.
Well, you know.
She is on fire.
Give her the assist, give her the triple-double. Ionescu and Hebert putting on a clinic. .607 left here in the ball game. Number 3 Oregon extending the lead over number 12 Arizona. Kobe fan in the stands, and a lot of Kobe fans out there as the teams we mentioned honoring the 9 lives lost in that tragic helicopter crash that included Kobe Bryant and his daughter Gianna. And Sabrina was a big fan. Just picked up her 24th career triple-double. He also wore number 24, by the way. And this was a big night for her. She was doing everything. She had 11 boards in this one, Tracy. 7 of those offensive boards. That's the effort that she gives.
And you can see that her teammates feed off her energy and her work effort. During that timeout, they just came out, they gave her a big hug, and they want to continue. They want no drop-off to happen when she goes to the bench. But now she'll get some good rest. But coming from Connecticut, we said they came in at 5 o'clock in the morning off that charter from Storrs, Connecticut into Eugene, Oregon, making a couple stops for gas. We thought, okay, they're going to be gassed coming in here, but they have just put on a show and show really they are a dominant team in the country.
Sabally hit the court pretty hard as she gets the first free throw. 15 points for Satou Sabally. Big key for Oregon, though, is as much as the big three mean to this group, it's the key pieces that have also come in and the production that they've given. I've been so impressed with Chavez coming in. Shelley's come in and given some good minutes as well.
7 of 14 from the field for Chavez, and I thought she got hot when there was a lull in the scoring for Oregon, and that's the spark you want.
Yep. Pueyo shot no good. She's been a bright spark for Arizona and commits the personal from behind. 7 points for Pueyo off the bench for Arizona. This is a fairly young team. 3 seniors with this group.
And you just look at, this is an Arizona team which just took over against UCLA in the 92-66 win and raised a lot of eyebrows. Then they went on to beat USC 73-57, and it was the first time they swept the LA schools in 15 years.
Yeah.
And when we were coming in today, you and I are saying, wow, this is probably going to be the best matchup we're going to see. Is Arizona was confident, they were on fire, we saw their kind of frenetic defense. Oregon, we thought, hey, are they going to be jaded a little bit with the win at UConn? But it shows you how dominant Kelly Graves' Oregon Ducks are and how many weapons they have.
Yeah.
And that's national championship caliber quality.
Well, it certainly is. The experience making a big difference. As the takeaway by Shelley. Goes up, gets fouled. She'll go to the stripe. Jazz Shelley, freshman point guard out of Australia. She had just 1 start this year. Thought she might be the starting point guard, but Mignon Moore came in, the grad transfer. But in that 1 start, career high 32 points. It was against Riverside, and she made 10 threes in that one, an Oregon record.
And we see both of these teams drawing on international players to kind of bump up their rosters. And we've seen Washington State do that as well, as they are just got Rwanda, Serbia. They've got a lot of different players. But of course, Arizona, Salvo Copa, Adia Barnes' husband, goes over to Italy, goes international, and recruits some fine talent.
Oh, absolutely. And they're making a difference, and they bring international experience. They bring that national team experience that they play at a different level coming in. Chavez gets a round of applause as Lucy Cochran comes in for the Ducks.
Well, I love the turnaround from Arizona. 2017, they had 6 wins. And now they've got 18, and they're looking at an NCAA tournament berth, and they've got fans to the tune of 8,500 coming into Tucson to watch their women's basketball games. It's alive and well again, thanks to Adia Barnes.
Yep, absolutely. Mara Mote's checked in, 11 for the Wildcats. There's Mote, sticks it. Freshman out of Latvia. Bryce Nixon also in, number 24 up top. She'll pick up Jazz Shelley. 4 minutes left. A chance for others to get some minutes, important minutes. Arizona will head to Corvallis. They will face Oregon State on Sunday, and the Ducks will await Arizona State. Their only loss in conference play to the Sun Devils. Smith High post, shot no good. And a rebound down to Giomi.
And it'll be interesting to see what continues to evolve in the Pac-12. Stanford, of course, has had some injuries, but they've had some key players step up. Prechtel's been a huge factor for Tara Vanderveer and the Cardinal.
She has absolutely come on with her game. Boley sticks it.
Boley's had a couple good looks down the floor, and from 15 feet, she's going to make you pay.
8 points for Erin Boley. As Nixon runs the point. Sophomore out of Phoenix. Almost loses it. Batted around. Who's going to get it? That's the over and back call. It's going to go to the Ducks.
You know, I thought Arizona, there was a fire lit under them when they didn't make the NCAA tournament last year, but
Yep.
they went on and won the WNIT championship, and I think that it was their mission to get back and finally find their way to the NCAA tournament with the likes of great players like Ari McDonald.
That's absolutely been the goal. But you're right, they went on a roll. They lost to this Oregon team in the Pac-12 tournament, and then they started knocking teams off and bringing in the crowds in Tucson to take the WNIT championship.
Adia Barnes, just that ultimate competitor, and continues to recruit great athletes. The athletes love playing for her. You saw their son out there today, joining him in practice, and just a great family person who's lightened up Tucson. And I'll tell you, anybody's going to struggle with this Oregon team, but Arizona, I'd be curious to see how they bounce back in the game against Oregon State.
Yep, absolutely. And I believe that they will do that. They're not going to hang their heads, that's for certain. Giomi, second effort, and gets the putback. Redshirt junior out of Seattle. She's been plagued with injuries her entire career here, and her teammates up and loving it. Wildcats had a 2-point loss to Oregon State earlier in the season and believed that they really should have finished that one with a W.
And you look at these minutes for some of the starters for Oregon, with Ionescu being out, Sabally, Hebert, they're getting a chance to get some rest as Arizona State's going to work their way here on Sunday. You're going to have that game.
Yes.
I think we talk about the second time through the Pac-12. If you can get some rest and get some valuable recuperation, that is so key, as there's still another 6 weeks left in the season.
Cochran tried to work it down to Morgan Yeager, who's checked in. And it's out of bounds. It'll go to the Wildcats. A minute 26 left. The Ducks will move to 21-2 overall, 10-1 in conference play. It'll be their 9th win in a row, and they'll wait for the Sun Devils and a Sunday matchup. Birna Benedictdóttir has checked in, Tracy. My favorite player from Iceland. That's the only time I'm going to say her name. Hey, Gould inside. A little push by the Wildcats. Under a minute left in regulation. And the Ducks will work some of the clock. Arizona, they'll move to 18-4 overall, 7-4 in conference play. After this one. And then they will head home. They will face the Washington Schools. They have one more road trip to the mountains. And they'll finish at home with the Bay Area teams. And for Oregon, there's still a tough stretch for them. They face Arizona State, number 19 in the nation, here on Sunday. They hit the road to UCLA, USC, at Cal, and at Stanford as well. So that 4-game road trip. And they'll finish here at home against the Washington schools. Not going to be easy, but talk about preparing yourself for postseason. As the first free throw is no good for Shava Ghul, freshman out of Turkey. Ghul off the mark on both. First free throws of the season for Shava Ghul. A player picked up out of Turkey. She played on the same club team with Kelsey Plum, the former Washington great. And Plum in the ear of Adia Barnes and her coaching staff. And this crowd on their feet is going to do it as Jazz Shelley will let it wind down. Kelly Griggs, Adia Barnes shaking hands. And the Ducks remain undefeated here at home, 12-0 here on their home floor, and they have won 9 in a row. As Ruthie Hebard, a double-double for her. And a triple-double for Sabrina Ionescu, her 24th career triple-double.
17 points and 11 rebounds. Sabrina Ionescu recorded
And we'll hopefully get a chance to chat with the Ducks. They get the victory, the 33-point victory here at home. We're going to take a timeout. When we come back, we'll get a chance to catch up with the Oregon Ducks. They get the win tonight over the Wildcats.
Arena at 2 p.m. It's Family Sunday, so kids 12 and under only $3. Get your tickets now by visiting GoDucks.com.
I don't think anybody's gotten Sabrina.
Thanks again, everyone, for coming out tonight.
I don't know where their SID is.
Crowd, and as always, Go Ducks.
Are you Nate?
Yeah.
Could you get Sabrina for us? Sabrina, how are you? Is that gum?
Yes, I never do interviews with gum in my mouth.
30 seconds. We're coming back from break.
Big win for number 3 Oregon here at home over number 12 Arizona, thanks in big part to Sabrina Ionescu. Another triple-double, her 24th, and Tracy Warren standing by with her right now. Tracy.
Sabrina, after the big win at UConn, you guys come back to Eugene. There is no letting off the gas. A triple-double for you. What was the team's mentality coming into this game against Arizona?
I mean, we started off a little bit slow, but we knew that they were going to come out and try and give us their best shot. They're playing really well right now, and I think they're one of the hottest teams in the league, so we had to just come in and take care of business on both sides of the floor.
You had the laser focus again with your teammates with the triple-double, doing it offensively, finding your teammates, crashing the boards. You've got a work ethic that's unparalleled. How do you find the energy for the second half of the Pac-12 to sustain this and move on to the NCAA tournament?
Yeah, I mean, it's just getting fun now, and you know, when there's pressure and there's games that you need to win, that's when it gets fun, and that's when we thrive as a team. So just got to keep building and working towards the ultimate goal.
We saw several of your teammates get involved offensively. Chavez started to light it up. Hebard, Satu Samali again. Talk about the chemistry on this team and why it makes you one of the best teams in the country.
I mean, we have so many weapons on the offensive end and coming off the bench as well. I mean, Taylor, Lydia, everyone that comes off the bench contributes, and that's, I think, ultimately what makes us so hard to guard. And obviously, I mean, Aaron, Ruthie, Satu, Mignon, they're all playing really key minutes for us and key roles for us. So I think we're just trying to get better and continue to gel together.
All right, you've got a rematch coming up with Arizona State, a team that got your number last time. How's the team feeling preparing for the Sun Devils?
Oh, we're ready. Yeah, we're ready. I'm just excited to get to that game. That's what I've been looking forward to. I think everyone here is excited for that game on Sunday, so I'm definitely ready to take them on.
All right, thanks so much. Congratulations, and good luck to you.
Thank you.
What a game for Sabrina Ionescu and company. Number 24, triple-double. Her dad in the house, Dan, so proud. Wearing her jersey. That's the Sabrina Ionescu jersey. I got to get my hands on one of those. It's not easy to do here in Eugene, Oregon. Getting some love, and it's a big win. It's a big comeback, and you heard it. Sabrina and company are ready as the Sun Devils will make their way in here on Sunday. That's going to do it for us. Our producer tonight's been Chauncey Jones. Our director, Zach Blaine. For Tracy Warren and our entire Pac-12 Networks crew, I'm Krista Blanc saying so long from Eugene. You've been watching Pac-12 Women's Basketball on Pac-12 Network. Good night, everybody, from Eugene.